Austen is ITV1's reinvention of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. For those of you who are not familiar with the story, it's about two people destined to be together, but Pride and Prejudice get in the way. In this latest adaptation, it promises all the ingredients you would expect from a period classic, with a modern twist. So let's go and check it out. Today, the cast and crew are shooting the Great Netherland Ball scene, and they've invited me for an exclusive look at what goes on behind the cameras. The series starts off in the present day. Bored and disillusioned with her life, Amanda Price escapes her disappointment by losing herself in an Austen novel. She reads with such intensity that one day she finds Elizabeth Bennet, one of the book's main characters, in her bathroom, which is only the start of many more surprises.
Miss Bennet, I think I may be having a nervous breakdown.
Elizabeth reveals a secret door behind the bathroom wall. When Amanda walks through, she discovers she's entered the Bennet household at the beginning of the book. It's now her responsibility to keep the story on track. But how will she manage such a hefty task?
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Price.
Now, your character is thrust into the Austen world. Tell me a little bit about her.
She's a kind of normal girl, but she's a bit kind of disillusioned with her everyday life. She's a bit obsessed with Pride and Prejudice. Initially, she sort of thinks she's going a bit mad when Elizabeth Bennet appears in her bathroom, and then she goes into the Austen world and suddenly starts realising that it's not all as it's cracked up to be.
Now, she's got a lot on her shoulders, though, because she's got to kind of keep the story on track, hasn't she?
Yes, she sort of takes the responsibility of making sure that all the right people get together, but a lot of it goes very, very wrong.
There's going to be a ball. At the ball, you meet Darcy. You have to meet Darcy, do you understand? You have to meet him, Elizabeth. It's what happens.
I was wondering, how does your accent fit into the Austen world? Do they all understand you?
Well, there's a lot of, there's some bits with some of the characters picking up on kind of weird Amandaisms.
What are you thinking, Miss Bennet?
I'm thinking how pretty you shall be for Mr. Bingley tomorrow.
Never mind the Bingley, bring on the Darcy. He's the one we want to see.
The burning question, do you get with Mr. Darcy?
Do I get with Mr. Darcy? My character Amanda gets together with quite a lot of the characters in the whole show, and I cannot possibly reveal who she ends up with.
One couple Amanda needs to play Cupid with is Mr. Bingley and Jane Bennet. In the novel, the two enjoy a romantic liaison together and eventually marry. But as we're lost in Austen here, you can bet your bottom dollar it's all turned on its head. Now, Tom, you play Mr. Charles Bingley,
yes.
Darcy's best friend, but you have your fair share of the ladies, don't you?
Yes, I do. In the novel, Charles ends up with Jane Bennet,
yeah,
one of the Bennet sisters. But in this, with the arrival of Amanda Price, who's something new and exotic, poor Bingley can't help but fall a little bit in love with her as well.
Miss Amanda Price.
Charmed. Charmed.
So it goes in a different direction.
It does, and of course Amanda, trying to make sure everything happens like it does in the book, is desperately trying to get Jane and Charles together, with hilarious consequences.
So what scenes are you filming today?
We're filming the Netherfield Ball, the scene where Jane Bennet and Bingley finally get to dance together, and it's the moment where sparks start to fly. So it's a good scene. We get to dance, and there's lots of people dressed up looking very nice.
Was she not glorious? Miss Bennet, Darcy, what's your opinion of her now?
So what's the gossip on set?
There's no gossip. I'm not telling you any filth, if that's what you want.
Not even off camera?
No.
Okay.
Well, all right.
Come on then. Come on, tell me. Just like the novel, the character Mrs. Bennet, played by ER's Alex Kingston, spends her life trying to marry off her daughters to rich men to secure their futures. Whilst most of the characters welcome Amanda's arrival, Mrs. Bennet sees her as a threat to her plan.
Do not obstruct any one of them in her quest for a propitious marriage. For if you do, and my estate is lost because of it, something may come over you, Miss Price, like a thief in the night.
So, Alex, you play Mrs. Bennet.
Yes.
How is your Mrs. Bennet different from all the rest? Because you look very young.
I am, yeah, I'm certainly young to play Mrs. Bennet, but actually I realised that I'm old enough to have all those daughters.
I don't believe it.
It's absolutely true.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And given that the women were usually married off sort of around the age of 17, 18, I absolutely could have had all of those girls.
Scary, huh?
Come, girls, come. This is Kitty. Mary. She is prodigiously talented at music.
Oh.
And Jane, my eldest daughter, who has not been well and is not looking her best.
So, Alex, would you ever be like Mrs. Bennet with your own daughter?
No, I wouldn't. No, I absolutely wouldn't.
Pride and Prejudice would not be the same without a dashing Mr. Darcy. The gorgeous Elliot Cowan takes on the role and certainly doesn't disappoint. A little bit of a hottie.
Yeah.
Don't you
He's
think?
pretty hot.
I think he's the best Darcy.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's an amazing Darcy. We shot a very famous scene from Pride and Prejudice that everyone's going to love. the
Oh,
other
what's
day,
it?
and
Is that
it was
when
really
he
good.
takes, does he take his top off? Please say he takes his top off.
a little bit.
He's a...
I am having a bit of a strange postmodern moment here.
Is that agreeable?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I've got to meet this Mr. Darcy. But I've been thinking, if Amanda Price can find herself in the story just by reading the book, then so can Alison Hammond. Oh, what a lovely story, Mr. Darcy. Why can't there be more men like Mr. Darcy? Handsome, beautiful. Oh, Mr. Darcy, if only. Mr. Darcy. Mr. Darcy. Mr. Darcy. If only I could be in Pride and Prejudice and meet you. Oh, my goodness, look at my costume. Mr. Darcy! Do you like the dress?
I do. I'm very impressed. It's very fetching.
This is a massive production. What's it like to be part of it?
This is the best fun I've had on a production in years.
They all say that.
Well, I think it's true in my case. I mean, maybe it's because I'm playing Mr. Darcy and there's a certain amount of cooing going around that.
Yeah, your love life, it's a little bit of a twist on it, isn't there?
Yeah. I mean, everyone thinks they know what happens to Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet in the story. And we make clear references to that, but we take the audience in a slightly different direction.
They do quite a lot of dancing in this, and as I'm dressed for the occasion, can you show me a few moves?
If I was to come to you as a lady who wants to dance, you might be seated. And,
Oh, really? Okay,
however,
sorry.
I would walk up to you, I would bow as respectfully as I could,
And what would
offer
I
you
do?
my hand. Yes, you could then take my hand, I'd take you to my feet, and then I'd walk you to the dance. So you go forward and back, and then to your right, take a little circle. And I'd let go of you, and then you can come back to there.
Love
And
it.
this would be repeated until we're done. Oh, thank you, Alison. It's time for you to return to your present day.
What? I thought I was just going to stay here with you.
Sorry, that cannot be.
Oh, okay. Thanks anyway.
Farewell.
All right, bye. Oh, well, so I didn't manage to capture Mr. Darcy's heart, but will Amanda have better luck in keeping the greatest love story of all time on track? You'll just have to watch it and see.